Philanthropic investment firm Omidyar Network on Wednesday says it has donated its Philippine Depositary receipts to 14 Filipino managers of Rappler. Omidyar says the move addresses the unwarranted ruling made by the Philippine Securities and Exchange Commission to revoke Rappler's registration because of Omidyar's PDRs. Omidyar partner Stephen King says, quote, "This donation completely eliminates the sole basis of the SEC ruling against Rappler Incorporated and Rappler Holdings Corporation. We therefore strongly believe that the company should be allowed to continue operating unhindered in the Philippines." A PDR is a financial instrument that allows foreigners to invest in a Filipino company without owning any part of it or being involved in day-to-day management. The SEC last January revoked Rappler's license to operate because the PDRs of Omidyar supposedly violate the constitutional restrictions on ownership. Omidyar says the SEC ruling is a clear and direct attack not only on Rappler Incorporated, but also on independent journalism and press freedom in the Philippines. Rappler CEO and executive editor Maria Ressa says Omidyar's move shows it remains committed to supporting independent, investigative, and innovative media organizations globally. Ressa says, quote, "SEC Chairperson Teresita Herbosa has repeatedly said that the SEC decision was not politically motivated. Now the government has a chance to prove it." Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno on Wednesday questions the legal basis for the justices of the Supreme Court to force the Chief Magistrate into taking a leave. Sereno's team calls it an extra-constitutional move even as they insist it was the Chief Justice's personal decision to take her wellness leave early. The Sereno team shows a letter submitted to the SCN Bank Tuesday night which says the Chief Justice is taking an indefinite leave, a portion of which shall be charged to a previously scheduled wellness leave. Sereno says the indefinite leave is, quote, "until I shall have completed my preparation for the Senate trial." Her camp's declaration runs counter to the version of multiple high court sources who said the justices pressured Sereno to take an indefinite leave until the end of the impeachment process. These sources said it was only after an intense 2-hour en banc session that Sereno conceded to taking an indefinite leave. Sereno spokesperson Josa Dania says, quote, "We are saddened by the fact that the confidentiality of the en banc sessions has been breached." The 20-person consultative committee tasked to deliberate possible revisions to the 1987 Constitution on Tuesday votes to propose a presidential federal form of government under a federalized Philippines. An ABS-CBN report says the panel voted via runoff, where the presidential option trumped the hybrid semi-presidential setup 11-7. President Rodrigo Duterte is pushing for charter change in order to shift to a federal form of government. But neither chamber of Congress has come out with a concrete proposal for the country's eventual form of government. The power of the consultative committee, which is under Duterte, is what the name states, consultative. Leaders from the House and Senate earlier said that whatever the consultative committee recommends will be treated as a mere suggestion if and when Congress decides to amend the Constitution. The Labor Department on Wednesday says the deployment ban of overseas Filipino workers may be expanded to cover other countries in the Middle East. Labor Secretary Sylvester Bello III says the move may be enforced if other Arab countries with known cases of maltreatment and abuse fail to strengthen protection for OFWs. The Duterte administration earlier enforced an OFW deployment ban in Kuwait. Bello cites Saudi Arabia as an example of another country that enforces the kafala system, which he says is a common malpractice where employers trade or switch their workers to other employers. The kafala system is a sponsorship system in the Middle East which prohibits workers from leaving the country without the consent of their employers. It also prohibits OFWs from quitting or switching jobs without the employer's consent. The scrapping of the kafala system is among the provisions that the Philippine government is pushing for in the Memorandum of Agreement being negotiated with the Kuwaiti government. The United States on Tuesday tags local terrorists behind last year's Marawi siege as ISIS Philippines and designates them as Foreign Terrorist Organizations or FTOs. The U.S. State Department also designates ISIS Philippines, along with ISIS West Africa and ISIS Bangladesh, as specially designated global terrorists or SDGTs. This means Americans are prohibited from engaging in transactions with these groups. The U.S. State Department says, quote, "The group's property and interests in property subject to U.S. jurisdiction are blocked. In addition, it is a crime to knowingly provide or attempt or conspire to provide material support or resources to the organizations." It also cites videos showing the late Abu Sayyaf leader Isnilon Hapilon and the leaders of the Maute group pledging allegiance to ISIS. Malacanang hails the decision to formally recognize the Maute group as an affiliate of ISIS and its inclusion in the U.S.'s list of terrorists as positive developments in the campaign against terrorism.